Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back guys. I'm Abu Afzal and in this video tutorial we will talk about transformation and manipulation of HTML objects. In the previous tutorial I have told you Jsoup is an HTML parser. And HTML parser does two things: extraction of data and transformation of data. We have already learned how we can extract data from HTML objects. From now on we will see how we can transform and manipulate HTML objects. For that purpose, we will transform or update this HTML object into this result. To update this code, we have to perform these tasks. Now, let's see how we can perform these tasks. In our scenario, first of all, we need a raw HTML file with this HTML code that is going to be transformed. So let's go to our crawler and create a raw HTML file that will contain our HTML code. Name it raw. Now let's copy this code that is going to be transformed into this result. So now we need Java code using Jsoup to transform this result into our result. So let's go to Java code. First of all, we have to create a file object with the raw HTML file. To new. I have already written the code. Let me paste that code here. So now I will explain this code to you. As we are going to update an HTML file, so first of all we need a document with the parser of file object. So in this line we have created our document with the file object. Now come to our coding about transformation. I have already told you we have to perform these tasks. First of all, our task is to add a meta tag in the head. So we need to create a new element that represents the meta tag. As in our this line, here is a new element is created with the meta tag. And the constructor of the element object requires two parameters. One is the tag object and the other one is the base URI of the element. Usually the base URI when creating the tag object is an empty string, which means you can add the base URI when you want to specify where this tag object should be belong. In the next line, the attribute method is used to set the attribute where k is the name of the attribute. Now we have to tell our crawler where to add this meta tag in our raw file. As we want to add the meta tag after the head, so we use the append child method. But if you want to insert the meta tag before title, you can use the prepend child instead. So we have performed our first task, that add a meta tag to the head. Now we are going to perform add a paragraph tag for body content description, and this task is performed by the same code basically, like we created an element and then we use the append child method, and this line is to add the text of that paragraph tag. In the next line we are going to add another paragraph tag. Sometimes you may find it too complicated to create objects and add to the parents. Jsoup provides support for the adding of the objects to the HTML string the other way around. This task is done by directly adding an element string as a sibling of the previous paragraph tag. Therefore, the before method is similar to the prepend child but applied for the inserting siblings. It means this paragraph with author Muhammad Abu Bakr Afzal is added before this paragraph. Now come to our next task. The next one is to add the align center attribute to the author paragraph tag that we have just added. Up to this point, you may have learned various ways to navigate to this tag. Well, I choose one easy way to achieve the task. This is making a CSS selector get to the first paragraph tag that contains the author in its HTML content, like we have used here, and we have told our color get to the first paragraph tag that contains the text author in its HTML content. In the next line, we have add the attribute like align equal to center by just using the attribute method. The final task can easily be achieved by using the add class method like we have used here. But if you try to add an already existing class name, it won't add, because Jsoup is smart enough to ensure that a class name only appears once in an element. So by this code, we are going to transform this HTML code into this result, and that updated code will be written in our new updated HTML file. So let me run the code and let's see what happens. So let's go to our Kerala project folder and see raw and updated HTML file to see what changes have been made. Let me open it in Sublime Text. So it means our code works fine. Let's change our code. Let's change this paragraph. Let's run it again and see if this happens. So you see here, this is our changing. We have just learned how we can transform or manipulate HTML elements, and in the next video we will learn how we can clean a buggy or dirty HTML elements.